I'm a little late, but let's do a 2025 reading wrapped. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be doing a reading wrapped, so I'm going to be sharing all the bookish things that I took part in 2025, which was probably more than any other year. So editing this should be fun, but let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I am talking a lot. I discovered audiobooks at the end of 2024 and I have not turned back since. When I wasn't listening to an audiobook, I was reading a physical book. I do love physical books, but I don't like purchasing them. When I wasn't listening to a book or reading a physical book, I was taking part in an ebook. This is my iPad mini 6, which I use as a Kindle. It did get a little upgrade. I found this cute little pop socket at Best Buy of all places, and I think I already had this case, but I bought this little adhesive and I bedazzled it a bit. Oh, and I also made this little back cover here. I use cardstock, I believe, and then I just attached stickers and sticky notes and such to it. I was a part of 3 book clubs, 1 in-person book club for which I did not miss a single book club meeting in 2025. I also was a part of a virtual book club, but I do have to say we were only active for maybe like 2 months. Otherwise, I wasn't active in that because the group just wasn't active. In 2025, I also joined what I guess you could call a hybrid book club. It is an in-person book club, but if you can't make it in person, you can join virtually. I do have to say I did not make it to that book club for an in-person meeting or a virtual meeting at all. Not a single one. But I'm gonna do better in 2026. I just joined that at the end of 2025, so there wasn't a lot of pressure to be active, but I'm gonna try to do better in 2026. And as we all know, I am in a planner and crafter group here where I live, which also has like a spin-off reading crafter group where we go and we do reading crafts and things of the sort. So I was a part of that as well, though not super active. I probably only went to a few of those meetups, but I'll talk to you about the meetups and things of the sort as well. But before we continue on talking about book events and things of the sort, I do want to do like a rapid fire rating of all of the books that I read in 2025. Lighter by Young Pueblo, and I rated it 2 stars. Educated by Tara Westover and rated it 4 stars. Loved this book. Finding Me by Viola Davis, 4 stars. The Woman in Me by Britney Spears, 3 stars. Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown, 3 stars. Y'all know I love some Brene, but I didn't really care for this book. We're Going to Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union, 4 stars. Finally got around to reading Rising Strong by Brene Brown, my girl, 4 stars. Dare to Lead by Brene Brown, 3 stars. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, 4 stars. This wasn't the first Abby Jimenez book that I read. I think I discovered her the year prior in 2024, but I definitely was in my Abby Jimenez bag in 2025. You Got Anything Stronger by Gabrielle Union, 3 stars. If you're new here, you should know that S.A. Cosby is my current favorite author. I read Blacktop Wasteland, rated it 4 stars. All the Sinners Bleed, 4 stars. You can hardly see this, but it is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Listen, I'm gonna tear up some names and some book names and some author names as we go through this, so just go ahead and brace yourself for impact. I did rate this one 3 stars, but I did still love it, even though I gave it 3 stars. I then decided I wanted to try out a historical fiction. I had heard a lot about Kristen Hanna, specifically The Nightingale. So I did read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, rated it 4 stars. Love this book. It's one of my top 5 books. Rootless by Crystal Zara Apaya. I shouldn't have even attempted that because that's probably embarrassing. I'm sure I didn't pronounce any of that right. Maybe Crystal and Zara. Apaya? I feel like that sounds good. Rated this 4 stars. I read this in my virtual book club, and I think I only read 1 or 2 books for the virtual book club before it was inactive again, but I'm glad that I got introduced to this. Loved this book. You know I love Abby Jimenez, but I also love Emily Henry. I read Funny Story by Emily Henry. I actually really like the book, though I did only rate it 3 stars. But a 3, 4, or 5 is good in my opinion. It's the 1s, the 2s that are books that I could have gone my whole life without reading. We'll Always Have Summer, also by Jenny Han, 1 star. I didn't really care for this one, but I did enjoy the whole series, but yeah, I didn't really care for this one. If you're new here, you also should know I love Frida McFadden down to the ground. I read Never Lie in 2025, rated it 4 stars, and If you ask me my favorite Frida McFadden book, I think I would tell you Never Lie. There's a lot of debate about that. Some people disagree, but of course, everybody has opinions. Different opinions, obviously. Vastly different opinions, but I think this is my favorite one. The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, 3 stars. The Women by Kristen Hanna, 3 stars. I know you can't tell that I loved it by the rating, but I actually really enjoyed this book. This next book is actually what I am 100% assuming is the second book that we read in the virtual book club before it became inactive, and I'm glad that I got introduced to it. It is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, 4 stars. Love this book. Something in My Heart by Kimberly Brown and Maya, 3 stars. Beast by Sky Moon. Love this book. We all love this book. 4 stars. Part of Your World, Abby Jimenez, 4 stars. And I just want to say, if I rate an Abby Jimenez book 4 stars, it's because Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez is a 5-star read and the others don't quite compare. So I have to rate them below 5 stars just off of the strength of principle. But I still love all of the Abby Jimenez books. It's just that they don't quite live up to Just for the Summer, which is an easy 5-star read. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, 3 stars. This is my least favorite Abby Jimenez novel. The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore, 3 stars. I don't even like the series at all. I didn't like the series at all, but for whatever reason, I have to see a series through because I feel like if I were an author, I would want people to give me a second chance. You don't have to. You know, people, not everybody gives second chances. I, for one, am a person who can entertain the idea of a second chance. So I always try to give a second chance. I don't know that I really should have because I don't know that the series drastically improved or my opinion about the series drastically improved after reading more of the books, but I did go ahead and read this book, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what compelled me to read Caitlyn Jenner's book, but I did. Secrets of My Life, Caitlyn Jenner, 3 stars. The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose, 3 stars. I did read The Perfect Marriage, which came before this one, and I much preferred The Perfect Marriage. One Summer in Savannah by Tara Shelton Harris. Loved it, rated it 4 stars. This is probably like top 10, top 15 books for me. Loved the book. It lives rent-free in my head. Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, 4 stars. One of my favorite books by Brene. Bits and Pieces, My Mother, My Brother and Me by Whoopi Goldberg, 4 stars. How to Stay Married by Harrison Scott Key, 3 stars. Still Waters by M. Monique, 3 stars. Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan, 4 stars. The Tenant by Frida McFadden, 3 stars. The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish, 3 stars. King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, 5 stars. Read this the day that it released. Still does not compare to Razorblade Tears. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I loved A Love Song for Ricky Wilde that I had read the year prior. So my friend gifted me some Tia Williams books. Read this one. Gave it 3 stars. I really liked it, but I don't know. A 3 is good, like I mentioned. Next we have Chaos Theory by Nick Stone. As I keep mentioning over and over again, my husband's high school was doing this initiative where they were all supposed to be reading this book. The author was going to come and yada yada, but they never got around to doing it. So over the summer, we decided to read it and we loved this book. Rated it 4 stars. It's a YA book. Still loved it. My Darkest Prayer, S.A. Cosby, 3 stars. Next up, we have a book that I really only gave a chance because I had heard so many mixed reviews on Book Talk and Bookgram and all of that, and I just wanted to see for myself. The book is called Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I don't know what folks were talking about. I liked it. 4 stars. Whispers of the Lake by Shanora Williams, 2 stars. Some books I read just because I want to see what the hype is about and what the discourse is about, I guess you could say. The Wedding People by Allison Espach was one of those books. 3 stars. The X by Frida McFadden, 2 stars. Beach Read by Emily Henry, 2 stars. If I haven't mentioned it already, I also embarked on a journey to read all of Frida McFadden's books. I don't think I'll ever keep up because that lady puts out books like it's nobody's business, but I'm trying. The Wife Upstairs, 3 stars. Matriarch by Tina Knowles, who is Beyonce Knowles Carter's mom, 4 stars. Loved this book. Growing Up Urkel by Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel, 3 stars. The Crash by Frida McFadden, 3 stars. Around the Way Girl by Taraji P. Henson, 2 stars. This next book is a reread. I was gifted this book by my previous director at my old job, my old director at my old job, and she gifted us all this book in 2016. I remember reading it when she gifted it to us, but I low-key forgot what the book was about, so I decided to reread it. It is Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. And what's funny is back in 2016, he wasn't as active, I feel like, in the political arena, so he was pretty much irrelevant to me. So it's wild to have read this book, to own this book, and then to have read it again when he is so much in the political arena at this point. Still a good book though. 3 stars. Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen, 2 stars. Much preferred the first book. All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris, 3 stars. Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, 3 stars. The Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, 2 stars. You can't tell because I'm just spitting out books, but by this time my reading is starting to slow down. It's like end of Q3 going into Q4. Again, you can't tell, but my reading is definitely starting to slow down. So we should be finishing soon. Next, we have a book club pick, which is The Culmination of Everything by Christina C. Jones, 4 stars. As a book club, we loved this book. Wildfire by Hannah Grace, 3 stars. Worst Wingman Ever by Abby Jimenez, 4 stars. This was literally a short read. It was 60 pages. I read it in like 20 minutes or something, but I still love the little cute short story. What Happened to You by Bruce D. Perry and Oprah Winfrey, 3 stars. I've known about the 5 love languages forever, but I never really sat and read the whole book, so I decided to do that last year. The 5 love languages by Gary Chapman, 4 stars. Untamed by Glennon Doyle, 4 stars. Loved this book. It was one of those random reads. I was always drawn to the cover when I saw this book, so I decided to read it and I loved it. Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams, 4 stars. Daydream by Hannah Grace, 4 stars. Orchid by Kiera N. James, 4 stars. Next we have another book club pick. That is Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown, 4 stars. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, 4 stars. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, 5 stars. Read this in time to see the movie in theaters because the movie came out in December. Love this book. The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, 2 stars. The Situationship by Abby Jimenez, 5 stars. Another little short read. It was 37 pages. Loved it. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, 4 stars. And then I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I left any out. I'm pretty good with keeping up with all the books. I'll double check it and I'll put the total amount of books that I read in 2025 here. I'll pop it up on the screen, but I'm pretty sure those are all of the books that I read in 2025. Let's talk about apps that I was using to get my reading done. So I was heavily on Libby, as we all know. Let me give you a rundown on how Libby works. First of all, after you download the app, you then can connect your library card and then you can access thousands of ebooks and even audiobooks, also magazines and things like that. The caveat is your library or the library that you're a part of, which for me is the Georgia download destination, has to have the books that you are looking to borrow. It's essentially like if you were to go into your local library. If your library doesn't have whatever book, then you can't borrow that particular book. So that's the one catch. Some people get around this by uploading multiple library cards, by getting multiple library cards in different states and such, and then uploading them into the app. I'm just a part of one library, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's the one catch. That's why you might be able to borrow a book, but your friend who lives in another state might not be able to access that same book. Those libraries that you're a part of have to have the books available within their catalog. Anyway, I was on Libby a whole lot. I also use Audible via Amazon Music. A couple of years ago, not even, I think a full 2 years ago, I think like a year and a half ago, Amazon Music teamed up with Audible, or maybe they bought Audible. I'm not sure, you know how Amazon is, buying up everything. But they teamed up with Audible to allow Amazon Music subscribers to access 1 free Audible credit per month. So every month I did access and use my 1 free Audible credit. I tried to reserve it for my book club books, for the in-person book club, just in case push came to shove and I wasn't able to read the book in time, I could listen to it. So that was what I typically used it for, but I did use all of my credits in 2025, every last one of them. And then I was a Kindle Unlimited subscriber for the duration of 2025, so I accessed a lot of my ebooks via Kindle Unlimited. that is pretty much where you could find me reading in 2025, in addition to reading physical books. Now let's talk about the Bookish events that I attended in 2025. On January 17th, I attended a book club meeting for my in-person book club. And then that following week, on January the 25th, I attended a sip and read. These events pretty much look like spending about 30 minutes mixing and mingling, and then about an hour of silent reading, and then another 30 minutes or so of, wrapping up, more mixing and mingling. And they are typically held at restaurants or establishments where there's like a fun little drink that people can order, such as a coffee shop or a martini bar or something like that. So those are the two book events that I attended in January. On February the 22nd, my friend had a birthday party that was book themed. So that was fun. A few of her author friends came, to include Aisha Bree and Kimberly Brown. So that's where I met them for the first time. And then we didn't have a book club meeting in February because there was a lot going on, and I think we had to reschedule. So we had one in March, on March the 1st, actually. On April 5th, we had our April in-person book club meeting. I actually attempted to go to a book club meeting that was being held here in my city. They have a book club meeting every month, and then in April, on April the 27th, they were going to be discussing Educated by Tara Westover. Is that what her name was? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I just said it. Is it Tara Westover? Westover. But I didn't make it, but I had every intention to. However, my hybrid book club meeting took place on that same day, on April 27th. So I did attend that. On May 17th, I attended Books and Bling, and that was a book crafting event where we blinged out our books. Let me show you mine. I decided to bling out Razor Blade Tears. Now, fun fact, I was planning to bling out the whole book. Even though I'm a crafter, I wasn't about to sit there and bling out the whole book. It took me enough time just to bling out the title. I quickly learned I wasn't going to be blinging out the whole book. Not at the event, not after the event. It wasn't going to happen. I'm just here to let you know it's going to take you a minute to bling out a whole book. It might sound like something that you can do real quick, but it's not. It's going to take you a minute. But this is what I did at the book club meeting. And then on May 24th, my friend and I took a little bookish road trip to the Cellar. And we actually invited a few of the other book club members, but none of them could make it. So that was very fun. If you haven't been there, I will link it down below in the description box. But I think it's in Conyers, Georgia. And we met up with one of her bookish friends that lived in the area. So that was fun. The place sells books and wine, and they do a bunch of stuff actually. So we enjoyed some wine and just kind of hung out. I bought a book. That's where I actually bought Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan, which was one of the few books that I purchased in 2025. I think I purchased this and then maybe 3 other books, and that's all of the books that I purchased in 2025 because I don't want a bunch of physical books. I love books. I love reading physical books. I just cannot fathom buying every book that I read. I don't know. I feel like I would have hundreds of books, and I can't. On May 26th, my virtual book club was supposed to meet, but I think that was really the demise of it. I think I did hop on there, me and the leader, who's my friend, E. Michelle, but I don't think anybody else got on there, and I'm pretty sure that was it for the virtual book club. On June 7th, my in-person book club met, and then on June 29th, that's when I discovered this silent book club that we have here in my city. Basically, the folks get together on one random Sunday per month, and they get together to do something like the sip and read. It's pretty much the exact same actually, but even though I attempted to go every single month between June and December, I didn't make it a single month. That's because I don't like the time of the events. They're just at an inopportune time. A 1 o'clock event on a Sunday, I'm probably not gonna make it. So I attempted to start going to those in June, and I started putting those on my calendar, but I never made it. Spoiler alert. On July 26th, my in-person book club met. And then on August the 2nd, my book club met virtually. That is because we were attempting to get Shanora Williams to attend our July book club meeting, but something happened to where we couldn't make that happen. So she agreed to, you know, be available for us August the 2nd. So we had like a virtual book club meeting, but it was for my in-person book club. On August the 15th and the 16th, we had book club meetings. We were celebrating the first anniversary of my in-person book club. On the 15th, we went out on the town and hung out, some of us. And then on the 16th was the actual book club meeting. And that was held at my house. And we just pretty much spent half of the day here, if not like the full day here, just hanging out, discussing books and all of that. Just trying to do something a little bit more than our typical book club meetings because we were celebrating our first anniversary. And then the leader of our in-person book club decided she was going to start a virtual book club. Spoiler alert, that did not last long, but we did meet on August the 22nd. And I don't know, I think she got tired of that. I don't think that was her cup of tea. I think she was like, I'm not into this virtual book club mess. And then on September the 12th, we attempted to meet again for that virtual book club. I actually don't know what the issue ended up being. I feel like maybe lots of people were registering and saying they were coming and then they didn't come or something. I'm not really sure. But what I do know is that on September the 20th, we had our September in-person book club meeting. On October the 4th, I attended another sip and read. And then our October book club meeting took place on October the 5th. Yeah, I'm seeing she attempted to do another virtual book club meeting on October the 24th, but it was canceled. So I'm pretty sure it didn't happen beyond September. On November 8th, we had our in-person book club meeting. And then on November 28th, I took a little Bookish field trip with a couple of the book club members to the book warehouse in Easley, South Carolina, where we had gone before. You can get severely discounted books there. So we went there. I bought like 3 or 4 books. I'm going to show you my books in a minute, but that was a little fun bookish road trip. And we stopped at the Scape Winery in the Greenville area and met the owner and all of that, and that was such a fun time. And then on December 20th, we had our final in-person book club, and those are all of the bookish events and things that I attended in 2025. Before I show you some of my books that I amassed in 2025, I want to show you some of the fun little accessories that I got in 2025 from just winning things at different book club meetings and stuff like that. Obviously, I gave my iPad mini, which serves as a Kindle, a little update. So some of those things are new that I just showed you. But I also got this clip, which is shaped in a stack of books or shaped like a stack of books. So that's kind of fun. I should have worn that in today's video. That's a fun little accessory that I need to take upstairs so I can wear it to book club meetings, because how fun would that be? Maybe I'll wear it to our next book club meeting, which is next week. One of my friends got me an Easter basket and it had book items in it. So I got this reading journal that I haven't used. You know, I'm digital for my reading journal, but I keep it in case I want to use it one day. Plus it was a gift. So this is something I got in 2025. I also got this, which says reading is my happy place. So that was fun. And I used that a lot. And then I got reading is dreaming with your eyes open. I got this bag. So I take this with me sometimes when I'm going to events. And then Kimberly Brown came to one of our in-person book clubs, I think in November, because we read Rhythms Blues. And she gave us all this. And it says, crying over fictional characters, Kimberly Brown. And I thought that was super fun. She also gave us some books and some other little things as well. I keep all of my little knickknacks in here. It's kind of fun because it's shaped like a book. I don't know where I got this from. I don't know. I think I got it at a book event. But I have just like random stuff. My friend got us these custom magnetic bookmarks. It says Booked and Busy, which is the name of our book club. We are thinking about changing it, but that's what we went with when we originally started. So that's fun. I have all kinds of little stickers and things. I have an annotation key. And then I have a lot of sticky notes for annotating. But I don't really read physical books a ton, so I'm not annotating. But if I did, I would be good to go, because I mean, look at all of those. And I also got a stack of stickers, which is a bookmark. I love that. I got a couple of new bookmarks in 2025. This keychain, which is fun. Something that's really cool that I got in my Easter basket from my friend is a page turner. So I put this on my Kindle or my iPad, and then I have this remote, and then if I just click this button, it automatically turns the digital page, which is crazy and wild. She also gave us this book light. Should be charged. Nope, is dead. Oh wait, is it dead? Oh, yep, it's on. This book light, which is super fun. So I use this when I'm reading physical books in the dark. And then honestly, the rest of the stuff is basically like a bunch of bookmarks. Truly, a bunch of bookmarks and some sticky notes. Ooh. Yeah, sticky notes. Just random bits and bobs. I kind of showed the most important stuff, I guess you might say, but those are all of my little bookish knickknacks. Should I turn my microphone around? It's fine. This is my current bookshelf. So let me take you on a little tour. First of all, we have the Housemaid and the Housemaid Secret. This was a gift, but I bought this at the Book Warehouse outlet the year prior. And then I have the Coworker, which was also a gift, a love song for Ricky Wilde. I bought that this year in 2025 at the Book Warehouse outlet. That one from 2024, this one from 2025. My friend gifted me 7 Days in June and The Perfect Find, and I had to buy that because it's actually my favorite Tia Williams book, plus it was like less than $5. My friend gifted me Once Upon a Time, and she gifted me Grown. Don't know where I got The Winter People, but it was a gift. And then I also bought The Sunsets in Singapore in 2025 at the Book Warehouse outlet because that's going to be one of our book picks for 2026. So I went ahead and bought that because it was also less than $5. I think all of those are gifts. Yeah, they are. I haven't bought any of those. I don't even know where those came from. I have Just for the Summer, which my husband bought me in 2024. I did buy Yours Truly in 2025. I bought Can't Get Enough. I bought This Could Be Us, but with free money, but I did buy it. I have Before I Let Go, which was a gift, Queen Move, which was a gift, and then I bought Real at the Warehouse outlet in 2025, and that is also going to be a book club pick for 2026 because the book after this, which is called Score, comes out, so we're going to read that. So I went ahead and bought it for less than $5. These were all gifts from my friend. These are kind of random. This is my niece's that she left here. This is the Financial Social Work book that recently came out, which is super exciting. It's a textbook, and that was gifted to me by the founder or the owner or the author because we're close. I don't even know what this is. I think this is a book that my friend wrote. She gave that to me a long time ago. My friend gifted this to me. Stole this from my mother-in-law. Got that from a friend. Hillbilly Elegy, which was a gift from a long time ago. I don't know where this Michael Jackson book came from. Sister Souljah, The Vanishing Half, some Mary Monroe. These were all gifts. I actually bought those Tannen books at Southern Hearts, which is a book event that I went to in 2024. Only for the Week was a gift. The Point of Excel, Kimberly Brown gave us when she came to our book club meeting in November, when she gave us those bags, so that was fun. And then this came from my husband's school, Chaos Theory. I bought this at the Book Warehouse outlet in 2024, and then the rest of those were gifts. E. Michelle gave me The Influencer a long time ago, and my friend gave me Razor Blade Tears because she knows it's my favorite book. I think I bought The Pact at the Book Warehouse outlet in 2024, and then I have these few books here. Okay, I'm just gonna end this video here. I feel like I've been talking for millennia, at least for like a strong hour and a half. So I hope somebody watches this video, and if you made it this far, you are goated 100%, because I know I've been yapping for a while. I'm gonna try to get this video down to maybe less than 45 minutes. I noticed last year's was like 47. So if I can get my yapping down a little more this year, that would be preferred, I guess. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.